Hey everybody, welcome to the JaeTae show.
Season's greetings. Welcome to the JaeTae show. Hey, welcome to the JaeTae show.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. Sorry the episode's a little bit late, but 10 hours late, but we're here and we're on post. So you will see this today on the
Yes,
second, just not at
yes.
7:30.
Just not, certainly not at 7:30.
So we didn't really talk about a topic before we came on, but I guess we can just talk about the appreciation and
Of course,
JaeTae show.
we've got to talk about the appreciation and certainly appreciate those who sacrificed to show up.
Truly, we I want to say NBC holds 100 people, but the fellowship hall was full of people. The front, all the way to the front door, was it was like standing. People was standing in the foyer.
Oh,
Every time I had to kept going in and out, in and out. I was like turning to the side, saying, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me," because it was so many people.
mhm.
There were no seats
Oh
in the
my
aisle.
God, y'all. When I came in and saw all those people, it just, yesterday, I left the hospital AMA, and that's against medical advice because I did not want them to cancel that event. And
Oh, we wasn't gonna cancel.
because I needed it, I needed to experience the love, the praise, and the worship. And I tell you, once I saw all those people who had come out, I knew Shantae had done an amazing job
Here we go.
to
Okay.
put this event together for me. And so many people turned out, and we're not used to that. We are not used to that. And so for the church to be overflowing, I entered into his gates with thanksgiving. And when I made it into the courts, I had a full praise because I was thankful unto him and I had to bless his name because the Lord is good and his mercy endures forever. I know something about his mercy to still be alive, to be as well as I am. Even though it took something to walk in was such a blessing. Mm. And I couldn't help but give God glory. I couldn't help but give him praise. I tell you, there was one point they kind of did something that that set me. I'd already been down, and when I got up, they played something that made me think I need some music. I can't dance because of my legs and my feet. Oh, but I picked them up and put them down, and I had some assistance. And then we had another praise break, and the saints came around me and danced. Oh, that was so needed. It was so needed. I love to see people praise God. Oh, my cousin cut the step. Oh, Lord have mercy. And my mama was turning her seat up. Oh God, it was just a blessing to see so many people praising the Lord and blessing his name. That is what I prayed for. I didn't want to come into that service and people just sit there, at least bring a few praisers who didn't mind offering up a dance on my behalf because I couldn't do it. And they did it. And it was such a blessing. All the different guest groups who showed up, those who spoke. Oh, it was just such a blessing. And then financially, it was a huge blessing. And blessings are still coming in, still receiving blessings today. And so you can sow into this good ground because I know it's good ground. And I've asked God to bless those who sow in a very special way. In fact, that when they receive the blessing, they instantly are brought to remember the seed they sowed into JaeTae and believe that that is the extra special reward for sowing into such good ground. God is doing a new thing in my life, and I'm just so grateful. The only way to explain it is grateful. I often think, as blessed as I am in this season, in so many ways. I think about, of course, the natural things, roof over your head, clothes on your back, a car to drive, and all those things. But I'm also so grateful for the changes I see and the spiritual blessings that I see. It's something when people tell you uh, how your life has greatly, significantly impacted their life. And of course, the prayer of Jabez is I pray that you, God, receive all glory. And for years, that was on volume 1. So it was released in 2010, 15 years ago. Wow. Uh, so many times between now and then, 2025, 2010, well, probably not in 2025 because, and not 20, maybe not even 2024, somewhere along the way. But more so this year, things have shifted to show me. But I often thought, God, how can you get the glory out of a life like this? I was still making so many mistakes. I remember in 2012 ending up in jail from running from the police. And, I look back at all the dumb decisions I made. And yet, that's what makes it so special is yet God has blessed me so richly. I've seen his mercy, I've seen his grace. I am a recipient of his favor. And in this season, for people to say the things that they've been saying, even before the appreciation, people were saying things about how my walk, my press, my strength is strength for them. And that means something because it's not easy. Oh, it's not easy. If we would start to tell you the things that I am going through behind the scenes, you would understand that this is a season that is very trying to accept. And I just honor God that He continues. He continues. Can you come back? Yeah, we're recording a broadcast. I'm in the hospital and the doctor came in, but I got to finish this. I just, I know God has a purpose. And that means something to me. It makes it so more special because, again, I wondered how he could receive the glory. I wondered if there was a purpose. I thought I was useless. I thought I was worthless. But God has changed all of that around. The more that I've gone through and He's brought me through,
It's the JaeTae Show!
the closer I've gotten to it. And just like it was brought up last night, if I never would have gone through it, I would not know Him like I do. And I'm so glad I know Him like I do. Oh my God, it has brought such a change in my life. I honor God for that. I think I may have said it on the show last week, but with these songs, what a change, great change, which is on volume 1. I I wrote those and was thinking, I'm not seeing any change, but that's not my testimony today. So much has changed, and I give God all the glory, and all the praise. Shantae, I need to go off camera. So it's on you.
Okay. Um, like Jay said, it was so many people. I literally was having to take people off of the program because it had become a little bit too overwhelming with their response and the people asking to be on program. And I was like, okay, let me just pray about it. And well, God said, gonna be on program, we're gonna be on program. But I was told it's time to do a part 2 because it was like 3 soloists and 1, 2, 2 choirs that couldn't sing. Oh,
Oh,
actually 3, because one of them left. So 3 choirs couldn't sing, and 2 soloists and the child couldn't sing because
and
I
a
was
group from Livingston.
yeah, I did that made it 3.
Oh,
Um,
you could count them as a choir?
uh,
Okay.
well, yeah. that I was just worried about the length of it. You know what I'm saying? I really
Yeah.
kept saying to be out by 7:30. I'm like, don't get up there talking. You know, like I gave directions. And they still talked a little bit, but it wasn't overwhelming talk. But
Yeah, and it was needed.
it was good things.
Really
So
good.
you know, I pray that if we do it again, or if we do something else, then the groups that that wanted to be on can still come, and the ones that wanted to sing can come and sing. But I know making hundreds of phone calls
Oh my
to people,
goodness.
reaching out to people for this person number, that person number. And I just went through Jay's Facebook page, and it's like every time Jay's in the hospital, it's like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 comments.
Mm.
And so I just started calling everybody that comment. You comment, you come. That's what I felt. If I can get you a message and ask you for your phone number, then I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna hold you to it too. And then, like if he posts something that's 1 or 2 likes, I'll just call the people. Because a lot of people I don't know, I'm seeing how to get in contact with, because I don't play or anything. But the ones that said they were gonna come came.
What a blessing.
They came.
What a
And
blessing.
make sure that I saw them, because Jay requested a picture, but I said make sure I see you to ensure that you came, so we know who to support. That's the way I felt about it. Because as much as Jay go, and well, he don't go as much now, but when I first met him,
oh yeah,
Jay was dragging me from church to church, to program to program. I don't know these people. He didn't have a car. He was just driving to Houston every maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh
He
God.
was going to musicals and rehearsals and practice, all kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, if he could do that, then they could do this. Come on now.
Yeah.
And they did it. So it was definitely a blessing that they held their word, and that they were able to come and show you how much you are loved and appreciated.
Truly.
Looking at true labors of Christ, and what things stand with music wise, before volume 7, trying to get singers and pull together things, it will look like nobody will probably show up.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
guess it's proven otherwise.
That's why it was so overwhelming to walk in and see so many who sacrificed to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And the anointed ministry that those who did minister was everybody. Each and every one ministered in their own way, but it was, to me, so effective. So effective. And some that had to share. There's one guy that he sung with T-Lock when we were in our 20s, when I was in my 20s. And he ended up leaving the group and being with another group, and he shared that he had open heart surgery and pacemaker and something else now. And I told him, you don't look like or a minister like what you're going through, but your ministry has a fresh anointing, because it's something about our suffering that increases our anointing. Because as we suffer, we have to trust God, and our relationship with Him deepens. It grows stronger as we go through, and He again brings us through. You can tell the difference. You can see, you can feel the glory that God has anointed that individual to minister to the saints. And I tell you, his ministry it's on another level. And some of the notes he was hitting, I need to message him and let him know, I heard that range. You in D flat and you hitting the D flat. I heard you. Mhm. Yeah, but it was just, yes, last night was such a needed blessing. And it was so much more than I expected. And I'm sure it was more than JaeTae expected. Uh-oh.
I knew what was gonna happen because I knew who I talked to, what I told them.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, I expected more.
Oh,
But honestly, this when I first thought about the appreciation. I thought about church choirs because I know your love for choirs.
yeah.
Not really soloists, but choirs. And the callbacks had got overwhelming, like I already said. And then the snow hit, so it messed up a few MLK things, you know what I'm saying, that people had going on and people were being honored. So that took away like 3 or 4 choirs because
On February 1st?
yes.
Oh, they had to move it. Okay.
MLK stuff
Mhm.
because of the weather.
Yeah.
It just so happened it fell on February 1st.
Oh, okay.
2 of the programs started at 5. And I knew that wasn't gonna make it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just no way.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I kept saying 7:30, we out of there, 7:30, we out of there. It was 8 o'clock, but it still wasn't bad. But I just kept thinking if I can pull together church choirs
Yeah.
that you work with, you know what I'm saying, different things like that. But what God, like I said, who God had was who was supposed to be there.
I tell you what, if you do part 2 and it turn out like that, honey, let's do it. Let's do it before the end of the month. Oh my God. Mhm.
Play this.
Really? Okay. Well, however long it took,
Yeah.
let it take that long this time and go on because it sounds like you have a full program already just from those who didn't get a chance to minister and those who got taken away.
It really is a full program.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was trying to get out the door of the church yesterday, and Pastor just looked at me and he just shook his head. He was like,
Why?
why didn't you move this? Because you knew who was coming. And I said, the first I thought to myself was, a pair of lips to tell you anything. Because if I ask you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've asked, like I said, hundreds of people. But I didn't really know if they were going to come, even though I pretty much bothered them every week. And you know, I think it became overwhelming to them to see me calling again. And there was someone that passed that was supposed to be on program.
Oh God.
And yeah. And I told
you
myself,
have to tell me who that is once we get off.
okay. And
wow.
I didn't think that one individual was going to show up because the other individual has passed now.
Yeah.
And I told our pastor's wife, she said, I don't blame you for not moving it because you just don't know. And someone told me
it was right where it needed to be.
Right where it needed to be.
NBC was the right atmosphere.
This is Jay's home.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is always the worship in there is always free. You know what I'm saying? Like the prayer
and the building use is free.
Well, that was important too.
Okay.
But, you know, it's just a free spirit in NBC.
Yeah.
And so I really thought about it even up until literally hours of I was getting calls because I was at home at 5 o'clock and people was already there.
Wow.
And telling me then I should move it to another church.
Oh God.
5 o'clock. And I'm like,
wow.
No. The street was already full at 5 o'clock.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
there, and I'm at home getting dressed.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, I'll be there in a minute. I told y'all 5:30. But that's just a blessing that they kept their word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think I'm just so
absolutely.
glad because the gospel music has had such a hit lately too.
Yes,
I
with
think
deaths
that
and
made
stuff.
people kind of come together also. Not to say that you're dying, but to see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just never know
Yeah.
what can really happen. The deaths have proven that. So
And that was another thing that was said that I so appreciate because at a funeral, you don't know who showed up, you don't know what they said, any of that. But I had a chance.
did you hear me say that?
You said it?
Okay. Maybe you didn't hear me then.
I don't know. Tonight?
No, that's what I told people. That's why they better come. Don't come into no funeral and tell me how much you love Jay.
Oh
Because
no,
he
no,
will
no.
never know then.
No, I didn't know you said all that. Somebody else said it. And it hit home that I got a chance to witness, you know, what I'm thinking, if that was my homegoing celebration musical, that it would be that packed, because Shantae would make sure it was. And I hope y'all go for hours and hours. Let every person that want to sing, sing.
Oh, Lord.
But I got a chance to hear, my best friend from fifth grade. Oh, we have been through so much, but we have survived. And he, this just recently, twice in 1 week, he helped me move. And because physically, I'm dealing with some things that I get very weak and winded and uh of course barely able to move. I need assistance picking my legs up, and so it's hard to move. It's hard to uh do things, and so I need help. And I'm so used to being able to move things on my own, maybe get one person to come help me, but I'm used to moving. I'm used to picking up and lifting and putting in place. And of course, not to be able to do that, it is a major adjustment mentally. It really is. But when you have a friend and friends who will pick up and take it on and make sure it gets done, I just count that a blessing. I am so grateful. And so he spoke, and I think he did an amazing job. I think he did an amazing job in what he shared. Uh, and then the Yancey, our pastor is Pastor Yancey, and he has three sons, and all three of them got up and spoke. And the words that they shared, they always share good words about me. I didn't know the middle child didn't like me.
Oh,
That was news to me. Uh, but they they really encouraged me. And who else spoke?
your mama?
Oh Lord, my mama. And she did. She reminded me of some things that I'd forgot about. I hadn't thought about it in years. Um, but one thing she kind of messed up. She thought uh, a lady was in the park, and that as I went through, she stopped me to talk. but I was already in the part on the swing. And this lady, this is what made it so special to me, is the lady walked up a hill in front of me. I see this head appear. I see him walking, and I noticed they're coming straight toward me. And she came right to me and began to prophesy. And when she finished, she turned around, walked the same path back, and that was it. And I told him, I said, it's as if God let her know there was someone in the park who needed that word. And and what I love about God is he will give you the word in advance to help you hold on when it looks different, when it looks like it won't happen. He gives you a word to hold on, whether you hold on to it or not, whether you hold on. And there were times I didn't hold on because I just, one of the issues was at a young age, I was belittled. So I was bullied. I was made fun of. I was called horrible names. Uh, and I began to see my own faults and think horribly of myself. In fact, I started hating myself because I'm in church. I know I'm meant to be a minister, and yet my flesh was out of control. Oh, I won't start telling you. I've already shared it in my book, but I won't tell you on here the level of disgusting things that I did, the horrible choices that I made. And that's again why God bringing me through and effecting such a change in my life means so much. Oh, and even yesterday to me now represents a new season. It absolutely represents a new, fresh season. It's no telling what God is going to do in and through our lives after this. And so I personally want to, on this show, appreciate Tay for her diligence in making sure that program was what it was, because again, it was more than I expected, and it was certainly something that I needed. I needed it, and God blessed. Oh, he blessed. He's still blessing, and I'm so grateful. All right, Tay, you have anything else?
Only thing I have is that I just thank God for leading and guiding, because Jay was literally in the hospital, I think every week planning up until this. Even yesterday was in the hospital. And I kept thinking, like, maybe we should just cancel or postpone it. And I talked to Pastor. He was like, nope, don't let it linger. Go on and do it. So I was like, okay.
Mm.
And if we had not done it, then this week was still gonna happen anyway. You know what I'm saying, with your health. But God knew that that had to go on with this going on with your health to encourage. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
And he also knew that it wouldn't be the same with me not being there.
Yeah, because I didn't know that you had posted and said that you were on in the hospital on Facebook, but I had got overwhelming amount of calls
Uh-oh.
and messages
Uh-oh.
where I disabled my inbox.
Oh God.
Because they wanted to know where you're gonna be there.
Oh.
Or I'm not coming, J Bass ain't gonna be there. J Bass gonna be there. J Bass is in the hospital. I see you in the hospital. I'm like, oh my God. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be there. Is he gonna be on Zoom? I'm like, no, he's gonna be there. So I also prayed that people didn't come just to see
Yeah.
what J Bass looking like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Jay'll post something on Facebook, but I think you did a video one day when you were in the hospital and you had the hiccups really, really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your voice was gone and it was a mixture of being tired and all that. And
Yeah.
it was a bad video because of your presence and how you sounded. So
Yeah.
a lot of people hadn't seen you because you hadn't been out. So it was like, I was like, Lord, don't let the people come in there being nosy, trying to see what the man looked like, you know what I'm saying?
Let them see what I look like. Because
What?
I look good. Hey, said I look fine.
Glad it's over. Glad it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, are we gonna end it?
Not yet, because I do want to keep before us Rock the Block. This is a fundraiser where we're trying to fill up each neighborhood of blocks. We have a $5 neighborhood, $10 neighborhood, $20 neighborhood, and a $50 neighborhood. And we already have a couple of people in every neighborhood. And so we got a long way to go to fill. In fact, nobody's given toward it in quite some time. But it is to help pay for Volume 8. Those who supported and fundraisers and different things for Volume 7, we were able to pay it off much sooner than expected. And I am so grateful for that. It blew my mind and it just brought forth gratitude. It's almost like the favor of tonight. We were told that it was going to take a long time for the ambulance to come, that they were backed up. And I determined I was going to wait, because if I would have taken my own vehicle, I would have had to start over. But I was able to come straight to a room here at the next hospital, because the one I was at was full. And they came. I determined to be patient and just wait. And probably an hour, less than an hour, the ambulance was there. And we were like, okay. And to me, that was favor. That was such a blessing. Yeah. You called him.
So that you was too sick to sit in the ER. Tell you, it was just too much going on.
Yeah.
And sitting in the ER for another 2 days, I just couldn't let that happen.
Oh no.
Yeah, I called.
Well, thank God.
Yeah. Your mom was like, it don't work. So I don't know, but it worked. It came right on over,
All right.
picked you up. But it's the truth. The hospital is so full. And what is that doing you sitting in? You know what I'm saying? Like, you needed to be somewhere you could be comfortable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe I ain't found.
I'm telling you. I tell you, I don't know what I would do if God had not placed Shantae in my life. and giving me such favor with her. You know, you have to see favor in every form that it comes in your life, and to have someone who puts on a program like we experienced last night, who makes calls like that, who makes sure that you're able to get your medicines that you need, and any cards to help with copay and all of that. It's just a blessing to have that kind of friend and person who God allows to see you. And it's not, as it was said last night, I am not an easy person to get along with. And so for a long time, I'd be nervous to get close to people, uh, because I know how I am, and so many have left, walked right back out of my life because of that. And so I don't never know who's really gonna stay. But the way JaeTae has been knit to not only to my heart, but to me, it just means so much. And I honor God. You know, I believe I'm most likely gonna be single for the rest of my life. But I have a dear friend that I believe is gonna be there for the rest of my life, and that I won't have to walk alone. And I count that a blessing. Yeah, I count it a blessing. And so not only do we have Rock the Block, but I am so excited about June 13th. I am so excited. God has worked things out for me to be able to make sure I'm able to continue with my classes, and I don't have to actually go to campus due to the legs and the walking and things, which is truly a blessing as long as I turn in my homework. Uh, and so I'm scheduled to graduate in May, and we're gonna celebrate on June 13th. And any graduate, high school or college in the Galveston County, fall 24 graduates, spring 25 graduates are welcome to participate. And in fact, it's not even just limited to Galveston County. I've invited a couple of people who are not in this county, who have graduated and are graduating. And so I just, I pray that it is an amazing celebration for those of us who have overcome so many challenges to make such an achievement, and that we can celebrate each individual, and each individual can celebrate others. So I look forward to it, and I thank God for those who are joining the team and bringing their ideas so that we can make this the best that it can be. Uh, and if you know of some graduates, uh, please by all means have them contact me, 409-996-8791. That is also my Zelle number for Flock the Block, Rock the Block, Flock the Block, Rock the Block. Uh, And then Cash App is $ J Bass Ministries. I have forms for the graduates to fill out. We have sponsorship levels for those who want to be sponsors of the event. And we also have souvenir book ad forms because we're doing a digital souvenir book that you'll be able to flip through digitally. And so I pray that you all will support this event. And even if you're not graduating, I'm asking you to come out and party with me as we celebrate. I will be the first in my immediate family to receive a college level degree. And so that was what inspired me to really want to celebrate. And so if you would come join us, and we'll be so glad to see you. Thank you all so much for joining us for the JaeTae Show. And we pray that you have been blessed by what you have heard and seen this evening.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. Have a good night.